Hey, how are you?
Nice to see you.
It's so good to
How's
see
everything?
you. Oh, bring it in.
You okay?
So excited to see you.
Very excited to see you.
In 2014, Burberry appointed Christopher Bailey as CEO after he served over a decade as creative lead. That was a rare path for a designer, but not a surprise. Working with Angela Ahrens, who left to lead Apple's retail business, he orchestrated a lauded turnaround of the storied brand. So talk about your day now and this move from your creative role exclusively into the executive position with the creative oversight. What does your day look like now?
So my day has always been one of working with multiple types of people. I guess now my new role, it's just a broader audience. I'm talking maybe to communities that I wouldn't have traditionally spent as much time with, but also putting my focus on the creativity, which is really at the heart of the company. I took on this role because design and creativity is the soul of what makes Burberry tick.
I think a lot of designers, especially folks that I've spoken to, this move has captured their imagination in a unique way. You've achieved tremendous success across outlets such as retail and digital and the runway. How do you articulate that vision and make sure that it's applied consistently?
I mean, first of all, it's all about building an amazing team that you love, that you admire, that you respect, and then you start to get a vocabulary that works across all of us. That we have a shorthand, and once you have that shorthand, and once you become a team and a very united team, everything is connected. A product can be quite sterile until you give it a context and an environment, and everything needs to live and breathe within a context, and it needs to have its world. It's not just alone, and then that product has its own history and its own story, and it was designed and it was drawn and it was created and crafted. And I think that's what's important about digital, is it's allowed all of us to tell stories and to get behind the facade. Whether you're having a retail store experience or whether you're going online, whether you're looking at a billboard, whether you're looking at a fashion show, it's always about making sure that people feel something.
Do you find that there's almost a giving back from the collective community through channels like Pinterest or even messaging, WeChat, the rise of WeChat?
Yeah. Yes, completely, and I love that dialogue. Now there are so many different channels for people to not only see and experience and feel, but also to articulate their feelings. And you might just jump onto something that somebody said or somebody posted, or they translated your product in a way that you never imagined, but you're inspired by it. It's almost like a boomerang. We send something out into the world, it gets translated in bazillions of different ways all around the world, different cultures, different approaches to dressing. Then it gets posted, and then it comes back to us, inspires us, and helps us to create a different
story.
So that's maybe a more abstract way, but then there can be things of somebody literally typing in, wish you would do this kind of a coat, or wish we could have this kind of an experience, or loved that experience, wish it was even bigger. So it can be, can touch different worlds.
I'd like to dig into your personal design process and philosophy.
Yeah.
How did where you grew up in Yorkshire influence the sort of creative decisions, the attention to craft that you put into your work?
That's a nice question. My father was a carpenter, and I've always had an intrinsic kind of love for making things and to seeing things being made. My grandfather was an electrician, and he was a crazy gadget person. I mean, it's still a joke in my family. As soon as some new thing came out, he would buy it. I think it's kind of shaped the way that I see the world. And I love things that are very slow and they take time. And like making of a trench coat, it's a very, very slow process because there's a real craft. There's a lot of hand sewing. There's a lot of different processes. The weaving is extraordinarily complex. There's this very, very, very slow world when you're creating a trench coat. But then I love the speed of what we can do online. It's a more holistic view of how to create your different processes.
What are the most significant challenges that you face? Are they in the manufacturing? Are they in the delivery of the story and the details, the stitching? What keeps you up at night?
All of those, because it's hugely complex, and when you're creating something, usually the answer is no, it's not possible. And I've got this weird side that I always quite like a no, it's not possible, because it's like, okay, let's make it possible. Yeah, because that means that you're doing something, you're challenging yourself. And I think sometimes it's really important to push outside of that safe feeling and take risks, and the context of that and the stories behind that are what are important.
It's an amazing challenge, and the idea that there is this convergence coming between luxury, between fashion, between technology and the software layers that power them. What is Burberry's role in this?
I think that regardless of what technologies emerge, people care about the way things look and feel. It's human nature to want to have a physical experience, and the physical experiences, I think, create the stories to tell on a platform. It's not a clear-cut division between a physical and a digital world. The interesting thing is when they merge and come together.